Okay, so we're starting bang on as always. If you talk now, you're talking in my slot, so that's just so horrible. I had written all this context stuff, but then I realized, I'm with you guys, so it's a bit pointless. I'll just give you the highlights and then get to the main point. As most of you know, I am hugely inspired by Doug Engelbart and his aim of augmenting human intellect. And as we know, that's been interpreted as many ways as there are people who come across it. Specifically for this, for what I'm working on now, I believe we can have a deeper dialogue, which seems to be what everyone was talking about this morning, if we slow down the speed of discourse by supporting document-based dialogue, as is common in academia, by making it easier to cite robustly and to follow the citations. That's basically the presentation. This project is therefore to enable what Les Carr, my advisor, calls scholarly copy. It's a great term, by making documents self-aware through visual meta, which Ryan thinks is such a weird idea. So, there we go. Immediately, when we talk about meta, somebody in the room will say, why not just embed the meta, right? And this is what I have to say. It doesn't happen. I'm not powerful enough to make it happen. And I've joined the PDF Association, and they say no one does it because it's crap. So, as an ideal, when you make a PDF, you should have metadata in there that's useful. Doesn't happen, I'm not going to change it, so let's just drop it. If you go into the XMP interface to try to get stuff out, you're not going to get it. So visual meta is an approach to add the document's metadata to the end of the document. This is paper meta. It's often on the first page, or one of the first pages of a document. So my huge invention and innovation is put it on the last page. Oh, no applause. Okay. Same thing, end of the document, but it's in BibTeX style, meant to be human and machine readable. In this case, this is the way it works now. It's taking a lot of space. That's a bit irrelevant. That's for clarity. It can take a lot less space. So here we have Doug's illustrious article. You probably can't read most of it, doesn't matter. But it's just the BibTeX stretched out. This is what visual meta can look like. So the first one there is explaining in words what it is. One of the requirements for this is if it can't be read in 1,000 years, it's useless. So imagine this being printed out, washed up on the shore. Someone understands our old-fashioned way of speaking English, and they can understand what this is. Then we have where it came from. And then we have document name, which is to be used for addressing. That's a whole discussion, and I know so many people in the room here find that like a whole world in itself. So that can be in there. The document can know how to find it. This is really important, the formatting description. Well, someone needs to do timing, by the way, because I'm not. 10 past, you need to go. The formatting is really important. It'll say something like, in this document, bold Roman type 12 is heading level 1. Jacob Voss, who's helped me with the format of this, he calls it reverse CSS. Because it's there, and this helps you understand what that means. The idea is, well, we'll get to that. Other things like glossaries, dynamic views, whatever magic you want to put in your documents, you can describe it there. If you describe it in a way that a human can understand it, AI certainly can understand it, so it means it can come alive. Thank you, Chris. So this I really have to hop up and down about. I'm not giving you a new standard. This is BibTeX, BibTeX, BibTeX. We're just extending it and using it in a novel way. BibTeX is not perfect. There are so many other things we can argue about, but that literally is arguing about angels on the head of a pin. Those were two asides. So visual meta is an approach to add the document's metadata, including how to cite the document, how it's formatted, and what it contains to the end of the document, and to enable scholarly copying and other advanced commands. So the visual benefits, for those who need them spelled out, are it's legacy safe, and I think that's a really big deal. If you open a document with visual meta at the end in a PDF reader, the PDF reader sees text. If you try to embed things in a PDF reader, it will not validate, it'll have security issues, and you're going to be screwed one way or another. That's an issue I've been dealing with forever. And also, even if someone doesn't use software that understands this, you can actually copy that, and you have a BibTeX reference to the document. That's nice. So if you use a reference manager, which you shouldn't have to, but if you do, you have that. And it's robust. This is something that is so cool. Mint has been talking on and on about the importance of archiving and keeping the record going. We already see so much rot in the past few years. You can print it out, scan it, and OCR it, and nothing is lost of the metadata. Personally, that's a really big deal to me. The book that I'm editing, that some of you here are contributing to, we're going to have a digital version, a paper version, and also printed on metal. It'll be about this size for the whole book. Really, really small writing. You will all get a copy, and we will of course sell it, but then we're going to put at least 5 of them in fun places around the world. So if someone finds it in 500 years or wherever, they will be able to decode it, and then we'll have all the description about everything it is. Digital is fantastic, I'm all about it, but yes, Vin?
So, Frode, I hope that you don't mind this interrupt, but in addition to preserving the reference, I think the nature of the reference itself is very important. Think about URLs. Think about the printed documents that have URL references in them. Think about, 404, page not found. I'm very concerned not only about the robustness of the reference, but also the thing referenced is not necessarily robustly found, and so we should be worried about that.
I would like to have the entire day of tomorrow to talk about that one issue. Yes. Meta benefits. It's presentation neutral. We've already worked to talk about that today. Server surfacing. Again, Chris, thank you. Your term. The stuff in the document, even if it's a table, say, this table has XY, it means so-and-so. So it can actually be understood by a server without having to go and get all the stuff. And then it enables scholarly copy. This is so exciting. Okay. So scholarly copy, I have 3 pieces of software. One is Liquid Author, that's my main word processor. Please, obviously, buy it. It's going to say download, but it costs money now, so do it anyway. It exports PDF with visual meta, and then we have a very, very simple PDF reader called Liquid Reader. 1 minute. That's fine. So, what this enables, if you have the visual meta at the end, is your Liquid Reader, you're reading PDF, no, 2 minutes, because it's been talking. You select text, that was a question kind of thing. You select it, you copy it, and then you go to Liquid Author, and you paste it, and it pastes as a citation. Come on, that's amazing. And you can see that if you click on it, you get all that stuff behind the scenes. You can change the way it's displayed, right? So you can change the way it's displayed, and really, I think it's quite useful. Later on, when you've done stuff, you can go back and copy just a citation if you want to paste that somewhere else. It's copying the BibTeX. I have been in discussion with Leslie Lamport about this, who invented BibTeX and all of that stuff. And he says, he's just not interested anymore. It's so frustrating, but I told him we'll bring it back. So that's scholarly copy, and scholarly copy is only BibTeX plus text. So it is enabled by visual meta or other meta. And these are 2, by the way, some within my time. One of them is if you don't have someone who uses Liquid Author, God forbid, and you have a legacy PDF, you can't actually sign it yourself afterwards. So all you need to do is either find the DOI or the BibTeX. That will either be on the download page, or in many documents now, we have a DOI in the document. All you need to do is select it while you have it open in Liquid Reader, and paste it again. And Liquid Reader will see, that's what it is, it's a DOI, and thanks to Phil's help with APIs, it goes out, finds the BibTeX, pastes it in. So then for the future, you can enable that kind of behavior. Yeah, that's just another simpler way of doing it. And then finally, you can't actually do scholarly paste without visual meta. If you have the DOI or the BibTeX copied from wherever you are, and you're in somewhere like Liquid Author, when you do paste, it will say, oh, you're not pasting normal stuff, you're pasting a citation. And conceptual acknowledgement goes to Liz, who's here, Wendy, who is here soon, Dave Millard, Mark Anderson, Chris Guttridge, David Price, Rain, Jacob Boss, Leslie Lamport, Ted Nelson, of course, and Doug Engelbart for expanding things. Questions? Most of the questions are along the lines of how can we integrate with this?
So this is available readily. In
The
several.
2 pieces of software is available now, update on Monday to make sure it's really clean.
Cool.
But it is, I have to emphasize again and again, it's BibTeX with text. It is, anybody can do it, and anybody should do it. Because yes, it does add stuff to the last page of your document, but come on. So many PDFs we open, it doesn't even have the date of publication, does it? And what are you going to do? Use Acrobat Reader and go in and do this? No. So, yeah.
Can you change the quotation and rephrase it? That you do like that already, you just cut and paste and then you rephrase it without the quote, and still keep the citation.
You can have this, when I started this, I thought citations were basically quotes always. Les said no. So yes, you can just paste a citation. You can actually go to the document without selecting any text, you do Command C to copy. And then you go and you paste.
Okay.
It'll paste the normal bracketed author year.
Okay.
Whether you can select and use it. I think, yes.
So I think it's a fantastic idea.
But
The but is, how do you think we convince people to actually write this additional metadata, this additional visual meta for their documents?
I think that reference managers are horrible because they have to exist. I think they should exist because they add real value. So what I plan to do after this is some marketing testing, where basically I show scholarly copy and paste. Because to copy and paste as a citation, as a student, is a huge deal. And that's how to sell it. Because the reader is free, and the logic of it, anybody can copy. If Adobe takes this on, fine, I don't care, I'm just very happy. So it's just by showing the benefit of doing not copy and paste of dead stuff, and copy and paste as full citation. Show it, show it, show it. I think I have another few seconds. Come on, one more question. Yes.
My question was going to be about you talking to Zotero and Mendeley about maybe how they might read this visual meta that's embedded in it.
No, but that's not a bad idea.
Because right now they have a complicated processes that try to scrape the metadata from the PDF or look it up from a repository, but if it's already embedded, then you
Yeah, I mean, this came from, when I was with Peter Flynn, I sponsored the JATS conference, which is kind of a new way of sharing academic stuff, and I realized it's absolutely nothing, because it's so custom. It's like saying, hey, let's have a blank piece of paper conference. So that's what I really learned. There's half an industry to make a PDF, another half to extract meaning. So yeah, we should go down that.